Welcome to the CLT I.B Podcast. I am Slyker.
I am Brian Garbage.
And today we're talking about the 2024 Summer Game Fest. We just watched it and it's now over. It just ended and got done and finished. So we're going to talk about what games they showed and talked about and showed trailers and gameplays. So let's just get right into that and not do dilly-dally. The first one that they showed of it was Batman Arkham Shadow, which is a MetaQuest 3 only game, so it's an exclusive thing. It's not on the PlayStation VR, And basically, I think what that is it's like a whole new thing. But what's cool about this, the only thing I like about it is it's the Batman from Batman Origins, that voice actor. Now, the suit looks like the suit you wear when you first get into Arkham Knight, but it's the dude who voiced Batman Arkham Origins game.
Yep.
Moving on with that one is Street Fighter 6 SNK. So what the deal is with here, if y'all watch the Summer Game Fest, is essentially they just brought SNK characters into Street Fighter 6, which is super cool, and it's been a long time coming, so, it's about damn time they do something like this. So that was cool, and I freaked out because I'm a huge Street Fighter SNK type of fan, so that was cool. The next game on the list is Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, which is part of, again, the Budokai Tenkaichi series that I brought up in episode 2. And the fourth thing that's brought up is Fatal Fury. They're making a new Fatal Fury game. So people who like Fatal Fury, you'll like this. The next game is Warhammer 40k 2, which is coming out. They didn't show a release date, but it's actually coming out on September 6th, which is the day after my birthday. So that's cool. The next thing they showed and talked about was Mecha Break, which is basically Armored Core and like Gundam, stuff like that. The next thing they showed is Metaphor, which is made by the creators who made all the Persona games that y'all like. So there's that there. And this is cool. So this is kind of going out to people who are super old school and grew up with Power Rangers and still watch to this day. They came out with a new Power Rangers game, or coming out with it. A Power Rangers Rita's Rewind, where it is a beat-em-up game just like the TMNT Shredder Revenge game. So that was super cool to see. I'm super interested in that because we've seen they've done Power Rangers games like that fighting game, and now they're doing a beat-em-up. It was cool. Kingdom Come, they showed that game that's next on the list, which is a first-person shooter game. But to be honest, I'm not interested because it's just nice and shining armor. The next game they showed was Killer Bean, and this is cool. It's just weird and just really quirky and all this stuff, but it's funny. Mm-hmm. It's kind of ragdoll,
And just like my friend Pedro has like the same mechanics like that of the slow motion, the jump move.
Yeah, so the game, if y'all, recognize or my friend Pedro had the same thing. The next game they showed was Harry Potter Quidditch Champions, which I thought at first it was a DLC thing to the latest Harry Potter game that came out right around last year. So I thought that was it.
And it's coming out with all consoles.
Yeah, it's coming out with all consoles, so look out for that when that comes out if you're a huge Harry Potter fan. The next thing they show is the Among Us TV show. So the creators of Among Us making a few new games, and they made a TV show, which the way the TV show looks, they're probably going to put it on Netflix, so look there if they actually do. The next game was on the list is Battle Aces. They showed that, so that was kind of cool. Again, the next game on the list, and we wrote the ends down. These are total of page 1 is 14, and then there's 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 on the second page. So we'll get to those right after. Is Wukong. again, I said this last time on episode 2 of the podcast. People have been waiting 10 years for this game, and I don't blame them. They felt like this game was never going to come out. They felt like there's never going to be this game, or no trailer footage, no gameplay, no game release, nothing. And now they're doing it, so cool. So we'll move on right to number 15 on the list is Kinsu Gaming, which is the newest game from Capcom, which has just done the Street Fighter 6 SNK thing that's on number 2 of the list on page 1. So there's that too. There's another game called on number 16 of the page called Hyper Light Break. I again saw it. It's cool looking. The next game is Honka Star Rail, which is basically Genshin Impact. Essentially, it's on mobile. You want to get in a Google Play Store, go right ahead. I'm not interested in it. I mean, I'm an anime fan, don't get me wrong, but, you know, it's just not something I would play. Monster Hunter World, again, Capcom just did that, so they've got 3 things right now. The next thing is number 19, which is the last on the list, which was Phantom Blade Zero that they showed last on the list. And that game, again, that game looks really, really good, and I'm excited for that game. It's just cool that they're kind of keeping up with the whole Japanese heritage thing, you know, because they've done that so much with, you know, Ghost of Tsushima, Sekiro, Tenchu, Ninja Gaiden, Rise of Ronin, now this, of Phantom Blade Zero, so that's really cool. They're keeping up with that and honoring it. Yeah, like, you know, my thoughts on it, I think the Summer Game Fest is cool, what they were doing and stuff. It seemed like, too, they were just kind of talking about the same stuff they talked about the Game Awards that was last year, which I brought up. I brought up, like, what games they showed at the Game Awards last year in episode 2. So there was that. They didn't say anything about GTA, unfortunately.
No, not.
So I don't think that's ever going to get brought up. They didn't really bring it up last year at the Game Awards. Mm-hmm. They just kind of spoke about it for like, they talked about it and speaked about it for like 3 seconds and then just kind of let it go. Swept it away and let it breathe and all that stuff. So there's that whole thing right now. Again, I think the Summer Game Fest went well and stuff. I like that all these games are coming out. Even though, you know, some of them are just PC games, and then a lot of them are, like, PlayStation and Xbox stuff. If y'all go right now, this is live on YouTube. IGN's doing their thing right now, where they're showing games off as well. And usually IGN's the ones that's, like, streaming the Game Awards stuff, but the Game Awards has a YouTube channel, so they streamed the Summer Fest this year, so IGN didn't have to. And stuff. So because IGN is been doing live streams. Like, they've got like 6-7 live streams under their belt right now, and they're doing part 1 of this live stream that they're doing now, and they're gonna do part 2, and then they got like 5 others to do, including the Xbox Direct thing. So that's this Sunday. So we're gonna watch that and then talk about that when that's done for episode 4 of the podcast. So look out for that. But what did you think so far?
I think it's good. They show a lot of pretty good amount of games for good amount of mechanics.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they showed a bunch of good games and stuff. I mean, they showed, like, you know, the finals and all that. And again, it's just not an interesting game. And, you know, and this was kind of, you know, they talked about, again, Concord.
Yeah, and they talked about that again. Concord.
And, you know, they talked about, like, Valorant and stuff. So,
And the finals is already on Xbox.
Yeah,
free
still. Like, people feel like with this, if we're going to get into the whole first-person shooter thing, we might as well get into it. Just, you know, we just talked about Summer Game Fest. To be honest, with Concord, at this point, since they dropped Concord, which again they just they kind of did the same thing at Exo Primal. They talked about that game and they just let it go. They never really thought about it again. It was just kind of a game. They just kind of swept the brush under them. It was like, we don't care about this game. It's going to be the same thing in Concord. And now they've done this thing with Concord. At this point, gaming companies, publishers, authors, writers, stuff like that, are losing ideas at this point. Which is another guy who said that, which is a guy I watch on the channel. His name, of course, Lucason. So go give your boy some love down there. He said the same thing. Because, as we know, recently was a State of Play, and he streamed that and stuff. And he said, man, are they just losing ideas? Like, what's going on here, And so, which at that point he's kind of right and stuff. But what's cool, again, with gaming, stuff in the gaming community now, more smaller gamers, or small developers, authors, writers, publishers, whatever, are coming up. Trying to get to the big game. Trying to get to the top. Where the big boys are. Where they play. Trying to get up there and develop their shit. And so I think that's going to be cool once that happens. Again, the games they showed were cool. The only interested, again, I've brought up before that I've been interested in is Wukong, Phantom Blade Zero, Monster Hunter Wild, the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Mecha Break. Now, they show these new games, which I'm just part of the list, is Power Rangers, Rita's Rewind, Street Fighter 6 SNK, the Killer Bean I'm interested in, and then, the Kinsu Gaming by Capcom I'm into, and that's pretty much kind of it.
They always show Alan Wake 2 again.
They showed Alan Wake 2 again because apparently they're doing something with that. I don't know if it's a DLC thing or they're just doing a whole new thing or it's some type of mini game. I don't know. So again, they talked about that whole thing, and I felt like, to be honest, there was just kind of no point of talking about that, of Alan Wake, because we know from last year's Game Awards they won awards and stuff, but Baldur's Gate got Game of the Year, and thank God they didn't show Baldur's Gate 3. That could have just gone to disaster, and, people are into Baldur's Gate, cool. That's cool. That's on y'all. I'm not a fan of it, and never will be. But yeah, I mean, that's what's going on right now. Again, IGN's doing their day one live streaming games, so go check them out, give them some love and all that. Because that's what we're watching right now as we're doing this podcast. So, because they're showing games off too. So, yeah. So this is me and Brian right now. Gonna sign out of here and we might live stream in a little bit. So if y'all want to go check that out, go to the CLT I.B Podcast Instagram page, where that's where our podcast is at, where we're gonna do a live stream, because we might do a live stream just a little bit of while we're watching this IGN thing and just kind of talk about games. So if y'all want to stop by in there, you're welcome to. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, comment, subscribe. See ya.